My father was a frustrated, he was a structural engineer to make money for the family, but he was a frustrated chemist and physicist, so we would do experiments in the garage. And that was my beginning in science. So I then was educated at UCLA in chemistry, is where I started. And then I got my PhD in biochemistry. And by doing biochemistry, I got into basic science. Both my mom and dad influenced me equally to science, but also in teaching and mentoring, and I fell in love with mentoring.
Mark, it's Nancy, and I'm so grateful to you for the initial opportunity to be the founding department administrator in basic medical sciences. As you recall that interview, it all started with you taking off your jacket and displaying for me your pink shirt, which showed me that this department had heart and soul and a foundation of goodness in it that I wanted to be part of. I'm grateful for that opportunity.
He's the one who started things going here in Phoenix. And he's the one who came here in Phoenix with Carol Hausler and built much of this medical school. I don't actually mean that he built the buildings, but it wouldn't surprise me if he came in at night to do that as well. He got research going here, he brought his grants, and he brought in people who brought their grants, and really started, I think, an intellectual center for a College of Medicine in Phoenix.
Go through the span of 45 years, 3,500 medical students in 45 years. That's about an average class of 70 medical students. So every year for 45 years, I taught 70 medical students, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. And the secret to teaching medical students is to care. It's exactly like treating patients. The secret is to care for the patient. The secret with teaching medical students is to care about their learning and treat them with respect. And it's easy after that. All I was a facilitator. You can call me a mentor. I like to think I mentored them, but they obviously did it all themselves.
So when I was still in New York, when my first postdoc, I talked to some people because I honestly had not heard of Dr. Hausler. I was in the thyroid field at the time, and they quickly told me that this was one of the smartest guys in the field, and they started to give me the whole history of how they knew Dr. Hausler, and they just said, you know, I'm just going to cut to the chase. This is one of the smartest guys in the field. You should go.
You are, I feel completely comfortable knocking on your door and asking for advice, and you always give very thoughtful, honest, and extremely knowledgeable, experienced advice that has helped me a lot.
We're going to miss you, and we'll be calling on you. I'll be calling on you for advice, whether you like it or not. So thank you as always, and enjoy your retirement. You've earned it, and we'll miss you.
Probably my happiest experience as a mentor has been mentoring generationally. What I mean by that is, in our first class up here was a brilliant student named Casey Solem. He's in the news all the time, you write about him. But I taught his father, Mark Solem, in Tucson. So many of the students that I have met up here, I taught their parents down in Tucson who are also MDs. And I love the generational aspect of it, to enjoy the entire families. And Taylor Pitt, one of the students, came up to me and said, "Hey, Dr. Hausler, I think you know my grandfather." And I was okay with knowing the parents of students, but I realized it was time for me to retire and I was getting old and sure enough, her grandfather is Michael Pitt, a brilliant radiologist from Tucson, and we published a host of papers together in Tucson in the 1970s. My greatest career accomplishment was probably the discovery of the vitamin D receptor, which is like the lock that accepts a key to the body to absorb calcium and prevent rickets and everything. So this lock that I discovered requires a key, and that key is vitamin D. And so we all need to take vitamin D in order to not only have proper bone mineralization and strength, but also many other systems in the body are dependent on optimal vitamin D. What happened that day when we saw the result that we had the monoclonal antibody to the vitamin D receptor, what happened that day is I went out to the store in Tucson and bought 3 bottles of champagne and brought it back. We had a large lab. And of course we couldn't drink it in Tucson, so we went out to a picnic ground through Gates Pass, and we celebrated. And now, I didn't realize, but after that, anytime anybody in the lab did a successful experiment, they would come to me and say, break out the champagne.